All right, first things first, hopefully you guys can see and hear me, so let me know down in the comments. I'm going to breeze through. We got Mr. Dennis Hoffman in here, Timothy Trexler. We got Mr. Pick in here, Zodiac KT, Tribal Customs, Grant Pertain, Jeremy Bolin. What's going on, brother? Brian Turner, John Neal, Tom Brewer. Let's see. Gregory Kuhn, Aldo Schmdak, I guess. Sorry if I butchered that. We got old Len Swaim up in here. Greetings from Germany. Nice to see you, brother. Appreciate you coming in. We got Steven. Happy Saturday to you. Stephen Lee says y'all can hear me. Awesome. We got Darren DeNoble. We got Alaska Andy, Vance ARA, Tony Vasquez. Looks like everybody can hear us. We got Daniel Martin. We got KRM 944. Yeah, a lot of you guys piling in, about 60 or 70 of you. So yeah, it's mostly open Q&A. I do have some things to talk about, like budget optics wise. But I have a review that I'm working on now, but it took me, like, you see stuff and you see things happening, but sometimes you're too close to it, and then it just all of a sudden hits you. And it, like, today hit me. Like, I was just sitting here going, how in the world, like, did this creep up on me, to, like, the fact that how good cheap, like, precision optics are today. And by cheap, I don't mean like $200 or whatever, but like what you can get for hundreds of dollars now is absolutely insane. It's pretty crazy. All right, let's catch back up. I'm losing handily here. Let's see. We also got SGL Shot KW, Chris Cummins. He got a notification. Good, man. Livings, I guess that's West Virginia, 1965. Vince Swinkeller, Keystone Tactical, Paul Lavalley, Jeff Taylor, John Neal, Bill Bristow, Jack Wellen. What's up, brother? Aldo, let's talk to somebody else. We got Central Arc PRS, OGR, Hispanic Causing Panic. We got Gaetan Volley, Chris Bomforth, if I mess your name up, I'm sorry. Barry Hill, Thomas Dulay. Let's see who I missed. Mr. Dave Co 66, Eagle Eye Shooting. What's up, brother? That's right. Your favorite. I don't know if I want to be your favorite ginger cookie. I've been called the Ginger Ninja, all sorts of things. I take anything ginger. Dave, yeah, I bought Discovery Optics 85 when you reviewed it. Yeah, that's a good one too. There are some powerhouses out there right now. Freaking powerhouses. It's crazy. Mr. Long Rifle, what's up, brother? Nice having you. How did I like the long? It was good. I actually didn't shoot it. I was a match director, and we had so many shooters. We started out like capping at 32. We ended up at like 36. So I just told myself if there was an even number of shooters, I would just match direct and spot. If we had an odd number, I would have shot it. But honestly, it freaking spotting for everybody across the whole day, which had 18 people just in my squad. So 18 times 5 all day in the cold. I mean, I was more than happy to sit there and spot, because I was pretty much, I mean, it was a lot to sit there and spot everybody. And if you're shooting on top of that, even more. Mr. Ray Chap 11. Let's see. We got Triple X Street Fighter. Sunshine Coast, Australia. What's up, brother? Patrick Castro from California. What's up, man? We got Jody Gouchwa from Michigan. Let's see. No, the cookie is not sticking. And I say that, it will. Mr. Ryan Wright, what's up, man? What do I think of your setup? I have an Anschutz 1761, APR MDT ground pod, element optics, HLR 2-16. First rival with 18, I think it's solid. Yeah, I mean, honestly, dude, like, it really doesn't matter what I think or anybody else does. If it works for you and you enjoy it, that's all that matters. You know, and there's shooters in every class, division, price point of rifles. So that's, at the end of the day, if it's accurate for you and you like it, then who cares what I think, you know? But no, it sounds like a good setup for sure, especially starting out. Mr. Chip Herrick, what's up, brother? One other option is a QD mount applies zero correction to a premium scope. I've used my Night Force setting safe for as well as Leupold VX3, even though it is for air guns. Yeah. Nothing wrong with high quality optics, that's for dang sure. We got Mr. Bob Bazzoli from Delaware. Let's see. Jonathan Tillinghast from Connecticut. Got Ray Chaps from College Station. Let's see. Joe Martell, another Californian. Ken B, how would I compare the Element Theos to a Vortex Razor 3? Maybe the Gen 3 outglasses it slightly, but the turrets don't break on the Theos that I've seen, so that's a plus. I mean, that's the problem. The Gen 3 is like a really good scope, but out of basically everybody I've known with one, they've had to send it back because the elevation turret let go. And to me, if I know a scope has like that potential, like, and especially if you're real serious about competing, you get out of the match and you drop your scope, like even if you got a backup gun, you lost that stage. And there's no making up for that. So to me, it's just not even a scope I consider because of that. Mr. Mike Michaels, love your information on your 457s. Keep up the great job. Appreciate you, brother. We got Hemi DX from Ontario, Canada. We got Tree Feller up in here. What's up, brother? That's the nickname I prefer. KYL Killer. That's a good one. Mr. Pocket Prospecting. What's up, fellers? Long rifle. Last year I shot my very first like center fire like PRS match, the gap grind. I shot a 6BR. I'm building a 22 ARC. That's what I'm going to shoot this year. Mostly because I'm a cheapskate and I can get semi-cheap 22 ARC with 88 grain for like, I don't know, maybe a little over $1 a shot. So that's factory ammo. I don't have to mess with it. So that's what I'm doing. My action's at the gun shop. The gunsmith already. I was going to call it a gun shop. Waiting on the barrel, which it should be middle of this month. So I should have that hopefully in my hands by the end of January. Let's see. You are the only one in the world that got my last name correct. I probably couldn't do it twice. I don't even remember how I proved it. I think I probably said Guhua. Maybe I just messed it up, didn't I? Let's see. Mr. Charlie Laner from Ohio. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Eagle Eye says 25 GT for the win of PRS. I need an ammo sponsor for that to happen for me. One, I'm lazy. Two, I'm cheap. Especially since I'm, basically a rimfire guy. Do you know of a budget optic with Arkin-like turrets and a 25 mil reticle? Well, the Arkin 7-35, I think, has a quarter mil reticle in it. Unless you mean a 0.2. I think the Arkin has quarter mil, if I'm not mistaken. The 7-35. Better Nate than Lever. Let's see. Favorite bipod under 500. It's really personal preference. I like the Accutax. I also shot crap, I'm drawing a blank. It's sitting right over here. A BT46 NC Atlas. And that's good, but that's kind of small. It's not real wide and stable. So maybe the Atlas, the wider Atlas, or any of the name brand ones, they're going to be pretty good. Mr. William Giddens, what's up, brother? Yeehaw from Houston. Love the Theos, by the way. Yeah, it's been a good scope for me. And we got Mr. Allen Bentress Marksman. Let's see. With that beard, you look like one of Snow White's drawers. There you go, man. Hey, I'm moving up in the world. Yeah, this beard will be gone next weekend. I have to go back in and drill, so it'll be gone. Steven, I ended up picking up a Bushnell Match Pro ED after using a shooting buddy, thinking of picking up a second, so I wanted to play Scope Carousel. Yeah, I like those too. They're pretty nice. And we got Mr. Mike Williams in New Bern, North Carolina. What's up, brother? Local guy. Target Suite optic hunting for my season eligibility thoughts on minimum power. For rimfire, I like a 5 to 25, something 25 to 30 power. That's kind of where I like to be for rimfire. Of course, it depends on what you're doing. If you're shooting at a bench, then, feel free to go way higher magnification. But if you're going to shoot like PRS NRL 22, I kind of like that 5 to 25 or 30 power max range optic. Especially with the first focal plane for getting a good usable reticle at lower magnification, like 12 to 15. But yeah, appreciate you, Mr. Brian Turner. Joe, I do not. I got a best friend who reloads, so if I absolutely have to reload, I basically hit him up and he helps me out. Is 22 ARC here to stay, or is another Fed? I think it's here to stay. A lot of guys are using 22 ARC, even outside of the AR realm. I mean, I'm going to be doing it with a bolt gun, because you can get factory ammo that doesn't kill the bank, and shooting 80 LDMs, they have a really high BC, and you don't need a lot of powder behind it, so it's a low recoiling, high BC round relative to its caliber size. So I think it's going to stick around. Mr. Gary Gates, Double G here. Thank you for another great year. Appreciate you, brother. And Eagle Eye saying, check out. Yeah, I forgot about the Thunder Beast. I've never actually used one. But the Thunder Beasts, from people I do know that use them, have had pretty good luck. I have my SkyPod, my double pull. I would normally tell people to avoid it just because of the price. Mine's been pretty rock solid, but like with anything production, results will vary. Chris Adams, apologize if you answered or done this, but have you given thought to NRL 22 or PRS 101 series includes the gear used and how you prepare? I've thought about it, and people have asked about it. The reality is like I'm probably not the best person to learn that from, because, if I was like, a national title holder or something like that, I'm competitive. If I show up to a match, I feel like I'm going to be somewhere in the top if I do what I need to do, but I'm not the best, so I kind of have mixed feelings about doing things, because I do things a little bit differently than other people too, but I've definitely thought about it. I just haven't got over the hump yet. Any word from KI? Well, yeah, actually I did have a word. They said at the beginning of December that they were sending the barrel out, but I haven't seen nothing or heard nothing since. So actually it was part of my plan was to follow up with them Monday, because we had the holiday week. So but yeah, it may already be in the mail, just maybe slowed down, but that should be coming soon. So I expect to see that review in January for sure. What's up, Mr. Hasbro? Let's see. Trying to decide between the Athlon Ares ETR and the Bushnell Match Pro ED. Currently same price. Any thoughts? I like the turrets more. If you're like PRS NRL, you like the larger, more tactical turrets and things. I think you like the Bushnell Match Pro ED more. The Athlon Ares, honestly, probably outglasses it a little bit. But for a strictly NRL PRS gun, I'd probably lean towards the Match Pro ED if it were me. When you shot long gong on the $100 shoot-off, what was the size of the large gong in between the regular long gong? Oh, that one is that. So that's that big target you see at my 150. I leave that 150. I shoot groups on that. I don't even know what size that is. It's got to be like 36 inches or something. It's pretty big. It's a fairly big target for sure. How often do I dry fire? Well, I haven't dry fired in probably 2 years. So now pretty much never. I just don't have the time. I mean, I'm editing, or I'm doing something, or working on something, or testing something, or outside filming, or working, or the guard, the kids, the family. Like if I was just competing and I just had a couple of guns and all I was doing was competing, I would probably dry fire 2 or 3 times a week. If I was like trying to be the absolute most tuned up I could be. So I'm trying to catch up. Is 6-ARC, it's still a thing in bolt guns. I don't think it's dead. My buddy was actually debating on whether or not he was going to shoot a 22 ARC or a 6-ARC for a new bolt gun build. So people are still doing it for sure. It's definitely still a thing. Do you think Ely match has dropped off a bit quality-wise, finding that ES and SCs aren't as good as they used to be? I'm not really having a ton of problem with it. It's been mixed results. I kind of don't really, and I don't pay attention to the stuff I like, the lots that I exclude, but I've been able to find good lots still. They may be fewer and far between. But I'm so hyper focused on like, okay, what's the best of this lot? And I kind of don't even think about what the other lots were doing. But I've been able to maintain 4 to 6 standard deviation and 20 ES on basically all the lots, and end up, trying to buy some with Ely. Thoughts on Athlon Helos BTR Gen 2 or the 624? thoughts on that. It's a good scope for the money. So the Athlon, you're not going to get like the super tactical turrets. You're not going to get a lot of like the cool features. But typically for the money, I think you're getting a little better glass than its competitors, especially Vortex and some of the other guys. So you have to weigh what you want more. Do you want better glass, or are you doing NRL or PRS style shooting? Well, of course you are NRL PRS. I'd almost go to something that has like 10 mil per rev, a bigger turret, because when you eventually get another rifle, another gun, upgrade an optic, it's going to be more familiar to that than like say an Athlon Heal as BTR. So they will feel a lot more the same. All right. What's the average speed you're getting with Ely match of your standard MTR barrels versus your Liljan L3i? Typically, honestly, I'm around 1090 to 1110 on almost every barrel, besides Kenny's barrel. Kenny's barrel does shoot a little slower than my other barrels. But basically across the board, I'm shooting like anywhere from typically 1090 to 1110, whether it's MTR or a Muller Works or the L3i or whatever. Let's see. Mr. Ride Time, I have a Cat Precision barrel. It's great. I'm hoping mine is. It's been a long road trying to freaking get one. Do I think match ammo availability will improve in 2025? I don't think it's going to improve. I think it's probably going to stay the same, honestly. You'll see RWS come back, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I think it's going to stay the same. There's Kenny. He's been having less luck with Ely, which me and him have talked about that before, actually. A couple months ago, I think he was saying he wasn't having much fun luck with his Ely. Like I said, I'm just getting lucky. Mine has been pretty solid. I think there's probably more bad lots that I'm like discarding now versus a year ago. Like I said, I'm so hyper focused on the good lots that I kind of discard that info. It was, man. Long Gong was super fun. Probably going to do another one around April, hopefully. And it's an average around 1145. That's pretty hot. I mean, I've shot some in 1120, up there, and it didn't really affect my performance. At 1145, where you're really up into that, you may see some negative effects of it being supersonic and then going transonic to subsonic. But actually, it's untested territory for me because I don't shoot anything quite that fast. There you go. Got a match Rose Nice. Be putting a Theos on that new TPG build. Sweet. Mr. CK, what's up, brother? We got Lynn Agony. Been following for a while. Saw you were going to warrant off school, going to fly chop. No, I'm what do they call a walk-in warrant. So I'm like a maintenance warrant officer. I hate being in. I don't like heights. And back when I was active duty, I was airborne. So every time I was in a helicopter or an airplane, I had to jump out of it, and I never liked it. So still to this day, do not like being in planes and helicopters. Let's see. Oh, it's 3:45 a.m. For you, that definitely sucks. I stay up quite late most of the times because I work second and third shift. So I'm usually up super late anyway. I don't have any good intel for an RWS, but I think you're going to see it probably like first quarter. But I think you're going to see it cost more per box. Let's see. How does the MTR barrels seem to stack up pretty closely to like budget barrels, like budget prefits, but they don't stack up against like the Morgs. Once you get, $300-400 barrels and up, like the MTR won't really compete with them. Maybe you'll find a good MTR barrel that'll beat like the worst of one of those, but typically not. I mean, I always shot Ely out of even my MTR barrel, my little everything. But I do it for a different reason. The problem is people see me shooting Ely all the time, and that's part of the reason too. Where like I'm not like as concerned about like where there's these other guys like Kenny and Treefellow were saying they're seeing lots are not as good as lots. I'm actually really not concerned with like raw accuracy on Ely. I shoot Ely for one reason, because I've been able to get basically consistently accurate ammo. That's good enough, and I can see the bullet better in the air. So for me, I shoot Ely out of everything. I could literally have Lapua that was out shooting the crap out of it. It wouldn't matter to me. I'm not going to shoot it at a match. So just because I want that silver bullet so I can see it a little bit better. Orange Smoke, M7. I had my buddy's kid out shooting CZ47, making hits at 150. He's 10. Now he's hooked. Yeah, oh yeah, that'll get him quick. Can I be competitive with a 1022 or should I invest CZ? Well, there is, I mean, shoot PRS or whatever. They do have a semi-auto division, so you can soup up a 1022 and be competitive. Are you going to be competitive with bolt guns? You're going to have to get really, really in the weeds with like a 1022. You're going to have to probably seek out some gunsmith assistance to get to the term of where you can compete with bolt guns with it. But they have their own division, so you can always be competitive. Let's see. Why, after all, why jump a perfectly good airplane? Exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to get in the airplane to begin with, let alone jump out of it. So don't see any one other than the CZ. Do you have any other than that one? I have 2 CZs. I had 3. My dad has 1 now. I'm down to 2 CZs, but I have chassis. I have the MTR stock behind me here. You just can't see it. So most of the time they end up in a chassis because I'm a chassis guy. Let's see. Mr. Grumpy, how can I stay up on your next match in the spring? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to post it on the community tab. And once I get the dates, I'll be mentioning them in live streams, and I'll probably put them in my video descriptions. They'll all be on my website. There's basically an events section on my website. So if you go there and just check in on that too, all the events are posted there, and that's where the registration will be. I do it all through the website instead of Practice Score. Just makes it a little easier for me. Yeah, it's probably a ton different when you're flying. And that's part of it for me, is like I'm a control freak. It's like riding with someone in heavy traffic and just like wrecking your nerves versus you driving. It's definitely a different deal. This frame for myself is a 20-inch CZ4 MTR and HC Premier, which you use. Nice. That's a good setup. Let's see. What was long gone? I actually don't know what he was shooting. He was on the other squad, so I never actually saw him shoot. Like I said, I literally sat there and just like one person after the next. Like it was constant. I got up maybe twice. So Jeff was actually in the other squad. And I'm not sure what rifle he was shooting. Let me turn this off, this stupid annoying thing. There we go. Got a dehumidifier that you can't see back on the other side of the camera, and it decided to come on and dehumidify us. Where should we look for RWS when it hits? Honestly, the Anschutz websites. I mean, they're the direct like U.S. dealer distributor for RWS, so I would go straight there. Let's see. For long range, the best ammo is probably RWS, honestly. I've always found killer lots of ammo with RWS, and I've always had the best SD and ESs out of R50. When I lot test R50 for other people's guns and stuff, it's crazy good. Now there's R100, but I've never actually messed with the R100 other than like a few times. But RWS is probably some of the best long range. Oh, here we go. R1 is good for long ranges as the deviation is less and more powder they pack in, hence better. Group Swarm R100 is good. Yeah, I think one of the guys from Maine was actually shooting R100 out there. Let's see. I'm a little bit concerned about the manufacturing processes. I heard some worrying stories from a couple of guys that seen the Ely factory. I don't know. Do tell. I have no idea. Hopefully we don't have any any issues. There you go. I probably have to look back through the video footage and try and like see him in the background and figure out what it was. That's an easy one, Bob. You can't get any U.S. manufacturer to make it because they're selling every bit of mediocre ammo they produce now. So to make better ammo, it's slower, requires more QC. And if they're literally running their factories to like full tilt now and selling everything, there's little incentive for them to try and compete with the guys who have been doing it forever. Actually had some guy who approached a U.S. manufacturer that used to make really good 22 ammo and really wanted to get them started and was willing to like kind of flip a large bill. And they basically laughed at him, which is kind of what I've seen, you know. Hey, Josh, have you seen the guy at Desert Precision and thread in barrels and receivers? Well, he's right below you, right here in this live stream. That's Eagle Eye Shooting. That's Desert Precision Gunworks, which is pretty funny. Let's see. And he's saying Ely rides at good velocity. Most 24-inch barrels hits the mock trimming zone. Therefore, you see better SD in groups, 150, 200 genus. Yeah, I like Ely quite a bit, obviously. Thoughts on Manor TCS? I'm not a big stock guy, but as far as stocks go, the Manor is a really good one. What scope would I pick up in the $1,500 to $2,500 range? Honestly, go to the, I mean, like, if you're in that range, I mean, I would probably just go straight up towards the top of that. You're not going to get anything. I mean, if you're a Vortex guy, the Gen 3, knowing that, you know, potentially the elevation turret may have a problem and you're going to have to send it back. Of course, they'll replace that. The Element Theos has been a really good scope. The Mark V is like one of the most proven PRS scopes out. You know, I mean, like it's been getting the crap kicked out of it for a long time. Most of the major scope manufacturers make scopes in that range. The Zeiss S5, S3 to S5, also really good. I mean, it's hard to go wrong, really, at that money. Yeah, okay, said, yeah, the Winter State was shooting a factory CZ with Discovery Optic. And that's pretty good. Yeah, which is totally proof, like, you know, Long Gong is a game of, like, making good wind calls and having, like, a good, like, tested, well, like, good shooting setup at distance. And you don't need to, like, you really don't need, like, a crazy high-end rifle or scope to get out, really, and be competitive. There's a little bit of strategy involved with that game, too, that we quickly found out, like, and, you know, having a good game plan, good strategy, and having obviously a good gun that groups well with the ammo you're shooting at 300 yards, and having a good enough scope where you can see your hits and misses obviously is going to help. Let's see. How far north do I come? Not very far, because I rarely have time to shoot. So, I mean, I went to Tennessee to do the night match. That's kind of one off. I go to South Carolina to shoot some matches, but I have to pretty much stay close to home because even the weekends I go shoot, I have to film stuff too. I mean, literally the YouTube channel, like besides work and the guard of my family, the YouTube channel eats up almost like 95% of my remaining time and leaves me very little time to go shoot matches. Not that like I can't, because I'm making the choice to do more YouTube than, you know, competitions, but just the reality of it. I do not have any experience with Henry rifles for target shooting. But yeah, I mean, because I have no experience, I don't think it's done very much. I don't think Henry rifles are really known to be precision guns. So you may be fighting an uphill battle. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, thanks for jumping on here. We got 229 of you, which is crazy. Like, I guess Saturday night's the night. Want to change out my barrel on a CZ varmint? Do you take the scope off with the ring? You take scope with rings off or any test? No, don't take any of that off. That's the great thing. Pull the barreled action with the scope and everything on it out of your stock. Undo the grub screws. Barrel comes out. New barrel in. It's super easy. Don't touch it. That's a great thing. You don't have to touch scope or anything. Matt Dubose, what night vision bridge do you use on the MDT chassis in your recent long gone video? Well, that was the Vision chassis. So on the Vision chassis, I'm using their one piece. On my ACC Elite, it's actually a guy who has just kind of like his own. I think it's like an eBay store now, and I've totally forgotten the name of it. But he does. It's like a 3D printed bridge, and it's just for me, purely for aesthetics. But there's a few guys out there making them. But yeah, I'm gonna do a video on like a bunch of like the little doodads and trinkets of precision shooting that I've accumulated and used and like really like now over the last couple months, and I'm gonna do that very soon. So hopefully I'll have all that kind of information in there for people who are looking. Let's see. Appreciate you, brother. Going to host all kinds of Rimfire stuff 2025 at our club, Chief City Shooters, Illinois. Long gone, really got my wheels turning. It'd be fun to have you visit us. Yeah, I mean, if I could make it out there, I definitely can't promise anything because the Maine guys want me to come up to Maine to shoot their match too, and it's like the calendar is like filling up really quick. James Garner, I think he's talking about a question from the other gentleman about that, saying he's shooting a kid super great. It's saying hammer inside 100 but starts fall off, waiting for my NBA voodoo to be finished. Nice. Let's see. Mr. Dick Dickerson, what's up, brother? And Kyle Buchanan. Man, hope you had a good Christmas too. I appreciate you. Yeah, Kenny's he'll have a live stream soon for anyone to ask questions. Josh does a better job about all that. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. We got Mr. DJN8 from SoCal, another Californian. Appreciate you coming, brother. Does the Theo stack up to the Gen 3 in your opinion? I love my Theos, but the Fields doesn't come in MOA. Oh. I mean, I've like spent very limited time behind a Gen 3, but I wasn't disappointed by the Theos at all. I haven't done like a direct side by side, but I mean, from the little time I spent behind the Gen 3, like the Theos to me seems very, very comparable. You could probably nitpick one the other way, but I think the Theos also has some really good features about it that I like. But I mean, both have their strengths. Whitten Gunworks are putting out Bartlett barrels for very prominent. No, I'm hoping to get one of those to try. That's something we talked about before. We just haven't got it done yet. Is L3 sending me a new chassis review? No, I don't think so. I haven't asked them about it. I know they're making a chassis, but I haven't even talked to them. I haven't talked to them in quite a while because I'm still waiting on the barrel to action thing. I'm not sure when that'll be, but kind of like one thing at a time. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind checking it out, but I haven't really discussed it with them at all. Let's see. Oh, we got the gun-toting Minnesotan on here. What's up, brother? For you, Vision Pro chassis, did you look at using the V-Lock sticky weights go on the bottom side? Yeah, I did, and I have them now. I've been using them for quite a while. I actually have a Vision update coming very soon in a week or two. Some cool stuff about the CZ chassis, and I've been using the folder and the sticky weights. So yeah, I've got like kind of an update and a long-term review on having, now I've shot the Vision quite a bit on both guns. So yeah, that'll be coming real soon. But I did try them. I do like them. What velocity were you using and others on? Well, I have no idea what others. Most match ammo is, going to be somewhere between 1070 and 11. My ammo was shooting about 1090-ish. For everybody else's, I have no idea. But most everybody's just using match ammo, so somewhere around there. Yeah, the Hodson Shield do a killer. The one that has a lot of texture, I really didn't like. I actually tried it. Like, I didn't think it was bad. It just, the texture finish wasn't for me. Like, the really pointy, like, dimpled texture just wasn't something that I liked. Or that's just a personal preference thing. Seems like Leupold is a bang for the buck. Well, I mean, it can. There's a lot of great scopes out there, man. I mean, I really love the Leupolds, the Mark IV. I got a Mark V. I've been shooting for a little bit. I'm going to be doing a review on that, way late to the game. But my competition gun now has a Mark V 5-25 on it. I'm more or less going to be talking about that and why I went away from a 6-36 or the higher magnification scope like on the Theos to the Mark V, because I really didn't trade out of the Theos or move out of it. I still have it. It's on another gun. I didn't move that off because I didn't like it. It was just purely a magnification range deal. PDC Customs, I've seen them. I felt them. I think they're a good bang for the buck. I don't personally like the aesthetics of it. And honestly, if I'm going to drop serious money on something, I want to really like the aesthetics of it, especially on the chassis or something like that. So I'm willing to spend more money to get something that, in my opinion, looks better. I don't think the PDC Custom is the best looking option to me. So that's why I haven't really went down that road. But I know I've used a couple. I know guys with them, and they work well. They're well built. Let's see. Mr. Country Rimfire. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Trying to catch you up here. Mark IV is a banger of a deal. I would agree with that. I watched Mark and Sam after work. Pretty much. I don't really watch a ton of YouTube, but I do. I am subscribed to them, and I do watch their videos. We don't always see we don't have the same exact opinions on everything, which is good because it'd be dumb if we all had the same opinion. But he's really smart. I mean, they're both really good shooters, and he knows a ton about long range shooting. So I like watching his channel. This is real informative. Let's see, the Rattler. Yeah, I know. People keep telling me NRL 22X Swainsboro Junior should come out. Yeah, I got some guys going. I may. Depends on when it is in February because I have 2 other matches in February right now. But geez, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Do you have a go-to rifle? And is the 40X taking a spot from one of your others in your collection? No, the 40X didn't take a spot. It's definitely a new add-on that's not going anywhere. A go-to rifle right now, one of my Rimx's probably. I have the most time behind one of my Rimx's right now, but all of them are really great shooting. And it's a stupid problem to have. I have a lot of really great shooting guns. And, it's I don't spend a ton of time with any of them because I'm constantly kind of circulating them in for content. And honestly, when I shot my last NRL 22X match, I forgot what lot of ammo was for my Rimx. I had to go back through it and figure it out because I just totally forgot. And that is I don't say it's the unfortunate side, but that's the reality of being a precision rimfire gun tuber is, I don't spend nearly the time with one rifle that I used to when I was more of a competitor and less of a YouTuber. That's just part of the territory. So with that, I don't really also have one go-to because they're pretty much all going to do the job. Just really depends on what I shot last, what I have dope loaded for in my Kestrel and ammo for that's going to match up with that. So do you plan to feature the True Ballistics Chrono and develop the actual BC from 50? I have it. I use it. I don't know. Honestly, BC number in the Kestrel and in the larger scheme of truing on a very low BC round is very little of it. I mean, you can change your BC a lot and see very minimal change on elevation and holes distance. So it's not something I'm going to do a lot, but I do when I film and show chronograph results, it's with the True Ballistics. That's the only one I own. Have you tried the Bixen Andy? Yeah, I have 3 Bixen Andys, Tac Sport Pro, Pro X, and then their special one. I love them. It's the Trigger Tech Diamond is a great trigger, but I see them go down a lot in impacts and voodoos, and not willing to risk it. The Bixen Andys work really good. The Timney hits have always been awesome for me. I've had a ton of Timney hits, and I've never broken one. So I just kind of, for the match stuff, that's, you kind of see this like a reoccurring thing with me is like, there could be better things out there. It's irrelevant because what I have works, and what I know and what I've put tens of thousands of rounds through without problems, like that's what I'm going to default to. And even if I leave something on the table, it doesn't much matter to me, more than, that I know what I have is going to run and run well. But I do love the Bixes. Mr. Frank, appreciate you, brother. Can I elaborate? Yeah, that's pretty easy. Groups. So I initially take all lots, shoot them at 50. I'm looking for raw group size and SD and ES. It could shoot a really good group and have a terrible SD and ES. That lot's bad. Or it could shoot a bad group. I'd say that's not bad. That's a bad lot. Typically, a bad lot to me is like SD and ES related. The ammo's not real consistent, not real happy in the gun, and or it shoots kind of terrible groups on the guns. Ultimately, I use the 50-yard group shooting and the SD and ESs to pick like the best of what I have, and then I send 5-shot groups at 150, and then that's where you really start seeing the difference. And when I shoot out there, that's kind of how I pick the winner of those, and you'll actually see that on an upcoming video very, very soon. Mr. Shannon Burke, his ammo was long range at 1090. Let's see. I am way behind. Sorry. Do I own a dasher? No, I don't. If not, why? Because I'm broke from all these rimfires sitting up here. No, it's just an expense thing, ammo cost. Like I said, I have my best friend. He reloads. He's a really good reloader. He has everything, like the best of the best of the best. And he likes to reload, but I don't want to burden him because I don't have anything. So I know I'm going to ultimately end up over there. End up eating up his time doing load development. So I just decided I don't shoot enough centerfire PRS for it to really legitimately matter if I don't have the best, absolute best thing out there. So that's why I went 22 Hart, because I can buy factory ammo all day. It's not going to kill the bank account, and it's got pretty good BC for what it is. Have you tried any of the modern air rifles? Yes, almost all of them. Actually, trying to work in a review right now if the weather would ever cooperate, North Carolina, for the raw HM1000X review. I've shot and owned Impact Mark IIIs, Pantheras, DRSs, the Karma. I've been down the road, so I have tried a bunch of modern PCP air rifles. If there's one rifle that you have it optimally configured, you won't touch for YouTube product content test. My Rim-X right now, like the one in the Vision Pro chassis, like I don't mess with it. I did change scopes, not for YouTube. That was just because, but like I'll use it for content, but I'm not going to like mess with it. I'm not going to like swap things on and off of it. So that's kind of like, and that's just that's basically the rifle that I've been shooting matches with. And I just haven't had time to lot test all the other guns to see like what's out there and what I'm going to shoot this upcoming year. So I'm basically just, like I've got my gun from last year and that's what I'm continuing with. Let's see. What chassis do I like the most right now? The Vision Pro for Remington 700 chassis is probably my favorite chassis. The ACC Elite, I also really love that. Keep in mind, I haven't tried really any of the new MPA offerings, so don't really know. Like I don't have a comparison sake for that, but I really love the ACC Elite, and the Vision Pro to me is just as shootable. It basically feels the same shooting it as the ACC Elite, but it's small batch made. So it's to me, it's better produced, if that makes sense. Like the threading, every little part and piece is perfectly done. So right now, the Vision Pro for Remington 700 is definitely my favorite one. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. David Pitcock hosted a local match today as a fundraiser on Points Match event of our local SWAT to help them update their PPE gear. It was nice to be able to give back. Nice. That's pretty awesome, man. I'm sure they appreciated that. Let's see. Been doing NRL for a year now, trying to learn wind calls. Any tips for a new shooter on making wind calls? Yeah, I would say go out, practice like on a windy day. Like make a guesstimation on the wind. Like look, feel, see what you think the wind is. Put that wind value in your Kestrel, and then shoot. And then afterwards, then measure the wind with your Kestrel and see how close you were. You can even walk out at random times with your Kestrel, and you basically going to like teach yourself how to estimate wind a little bit better. Your Kestrel will do it beforehand, right? But where that's going to help you is if the wind is changing. So you're about to shoot and the wind dies off. And the more you mess with the Kestrel on that thing, the more you'll kind of know at what distances what that kind of equates to. But the reality is it's basically just like in the field experience, and just getting familiar with the wind and what's going to do to your bullet. Let's see. I look forward to your video on Dirty Pair. I think you mentioned in one video has said no change in work for you. Be interested in hearing more. Yeah, I'm still going to post that. Like I said, I was really on the fence about it. I think I'm going to get some hate over it, honestly. Like, and the biggest thing, and Kenny's in here, I picked a freaking random lot of ammo team, and I literally loaded it, and it's in his Rimex. I loaded it in Rimex, and I just sent 5. I was like, let me just see how it shoots. And it freaking put like 5 in the same hole, and I was like, this will be great for this explanation. Well, as the more I shot it, I didn't really like that lot of team. And so you'll see it'll leak one out of the group here and there. And it kind of makes it less clear on what's going on. So I was kind of like holding back on that because I didn't think it was a real good representation. I may just really quickly refilm it Monday. Now that I have like more time behind that and I know what lots the gun really likes, because you really need to hammer like some really small groups at 50. Because what the difference you're trying to show is the difference between a 0.2 and a 0.4. And the difference between those in ammo-wise can be just one little flyer, one bullet that isn't happy in the, So I may just, man up and just redo it or try to. You ever compete in factory base class? I did with my CZ457 MTR when I first started PRS. And then my best friend, John Cole, kicked me out of base class. He's basically knew I was going to go to nationals and try and compete in nationals base class. So to motivate me, basically, last match I shot with him, he's like, yeah, you're not in base class anymore. You're in open class. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. But I did shoot a 457 MTR in base class or production class in PRS. If you were to build the ultimate rimfire, what action would you start with? Man, that's tough. I mean, they're all good. I'm just going to say, I honestly think right now, the most consistently best action in the rimfire world is the voodoo action. I shoot 2 Rimexes now. The Rimexes are also very, very good. The voodoos are over-engineered on ignition. It makes them a little bit easier to work with, a little bit more forgiving. The Rimexes are not over-engineered on ignition, meaning you need all bolt on, like when you close down a bolt, that cocking force you're getting, you need the Rimex with the trigger setup to cock like 100%. You need that cocking effort done to get good ignition. So I say that, the Rimex can be a little bit pickier on triggers because of that. So I would say the voodoo right now, in my mind, is probably right now currently the best action. So I would probably start with that. Probably run a Muller Works Select and a Vision Pro would be a pretty dang good setup. And I don't have that build right now. Let's see. I split my cards, man. If it wasn't for you, I would have never tried. Nice. 2211 mags are machined from one piece of aluminum. Fantastic conversion by 22 long rifle. Really great to use, save cost, especially shoot every day or two. Especially for pistol. I've got that 2211 and I got 15 round mags for it, and it's really cool. You need to do a comparison video between Theo's Vortex Gen 3 because I'm really only on the fence. I haven't seen anybody that has both scopes to do a review. Just saying, pretty please. Hey, if Vortex will send me the Gen 3, I'll compare it all day long. I'll compare it twice, but I don't think they're going to send me anything. And I'm not going to buy a Gen 3 because I have a Theos and the other stuff, and that would basically kill my whole YouTube channel budget for ammo and everything for like 2 or 3 months. So I could buy a Gen 3 to compare it, but then I would just not make any videos for the next 3 months because I'd be broke. That's an easy one. Match Pro ED or Leupold Mark IV? Mark IV all day long. I mean, it's a more expensive scope for a reason. It's just a better scope. Nothing against the Match Pro ED. It's great for its price point, but you really can't compare scopes in different price points. It's always going to be the more, or 99.999% of the time, going to be the more expensive scope is the better scope. Let's see. I don't know. Jody, were you talking to me? Did I set up a target at home with a rangefinder or measure? Oh, at the house, my 50 yard? Yeah, I have a Leica rangefinder that actually measures in tenths of yards. So out to like 200 yards. So at my home range, I can set up and literally like range find it and make sure it's 50.0 yards. But yeah, you may not even be talking to me. Not sure. Leupold have HD or ED glass too. By the way, pretty sure Mark IV does at least anything extreme. Twilight does. Yeah, the Mark IV definitely has ED glass. Bravo 3D. Can I send you my grip design for Rimfire? You can. I will give you a fair warning. Let me use this. So the camera will see. Most people wrap their hand around a grip, right? And then pull like the trigger, like this, thumb forward, and they wrap their hand around the grip. I do not do that. So how I actually shoot is I put my hand on the side, but further back, and I curl my fingers in on the front of the grip, and then I push the trigger inward. So I have a really weird grip. So you can make the most awesome grip ever, and it may not apply to me at all because I don't use a traditional firing hand grip because I'm a weirdo. Chris Lane, are you kidding me? I need to know how hard the pin is. No, you don't need to know how hard it's hitting it. You just have to know the rim X is basically you're going to get consistent, and you'll see it. Like you can take a rim X and put a trigger that's not giving you like a trigger that's not well suited for a rim X and watch your SD and ES numbers go up because it's not getting full like ignition. Like it's not getting like what it needs. And you swap a trigger in that's like better set up for it, better mated to it. You're getting more cock on close and you'll watch the SD and ES numbers drop. I mean, it just is what it is, man. I mean, I've seen it 100 times probably at this point. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to get to some good ones. You should try to go to SHOT Show. Some good stuff come out this year. Man, I am not going this year. I'm going to go next year. Thing about SHOT Show is that everybody and their brothers had SHOT Show making the same crap videos, like where it's in a display booth, it's looking at something that they're saying is going to come out Q2 of 2025, and it's not. And yeah, it's like, to me, it's just, there's so many people making the content. Like, I'll see it like on YouTube. And I know guys that are going to be there, I'll see it 100 times before it actually comes out and gets released. So I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Next year, 2026, I am going because I got guys who want to come, who want to go with me. So I'm going to try and make that happen. But SHOT Show really doesn't do much for me, honestly. I'd rather stay home, spend that little extra time around the house, the family, the kids, and get some real content made. And I'm not knocking people going to SHOT Show and filming. I'm not saying that's not real content, but what I mean is real long form content is more important to me than SHOT Show stuff that literally everybody else is doing. Trying to expand the firearm market. I make parts from bench rest. My grip puts your hand right under the trigger. Check out my sites and try to expand. Feel like you can 100% send it to me. Just email me, josh@pursuitaccuracy.com, and I'll check it out. I'll give it a fair shake for sure. And I'll let you, at the minimum, I will check it out and at least let you know what I think about it. And if it's something that like I think is good or like, potentially good for the market, the consumer kind of thing, then I'll have it in a video where I do all those like kind of like new gear kind of video like that I've vetted. I talked about it earlier over the last couple of months. I literally would try, anything. And I'm willing to do anything that I think is interesting to the community, put it on film. Let's see. Oh, got some training going on. Hopefully you get some help around there. Let's see. Appreciate you, DGN8. Thanks for showing up, brother. Bravo 3D says shoots like me. Let me show me. Okay. It's mushroom. Let's see. Oh boy, we got some bunch of comments. I can never keep up with the comments on here. Describe the best ignition for the CZ freely. Honestly, CZs are another great action where they're kind of like almost like, I don't know why, but they have great ignition. Like, you don't really ever see ignition issues or that many ignition issues with CZ unless you have like broken stuff. They really have really good ignition. You don't really have to worry about that with CZ. Like, as you get into the Remington 700 stuff, specifically the Rem-X, like if you're going to put one together, like for yourself, that's something to be cognizant of. I've seen literally barrels go out after have been tested, shot great, go out, customer gets it, installs it, shoots like crap. Seeing that barrel come back, be retested, be good, sent back out, and then the customer ultimately changed their trigger and it hammers. So in a Rem-X, it can be, the trigger can be the difference, like night and day. You won't see that in CZ, Voodoo, some other things like that. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Got a lot of gunsmithing talk going on, which is good. Talking about demagnetizing. What percentage of equipment do you feel is not good enough to make your channel? If you mention it, you're always looking around. I don't know. 25% doesn't make it. Like, honest. So this is what I'm not willing to do. Like, I'm not willing to like give out advertising if like it's something that like doesn't help anybody. Like if somebody makes something and it's a solution to a problem that doesn't exist, then I'm not going to put it on the channel. Like, because I feel like I built up a lot of rapport with the community, with you guys here watching this. Like there's trust there, right? Like, so at the end of the day, it's about 20-25% because I'm just not willing to put my name on it and put it on the channel because I feel like you guys trust me to bring you stuff that works well, that's quality, that's good, that's worth spending your money on. And if I'm not sure about it, I'm not going to risk it. Like, so I do have a lot of things like come in, and it's usually very inexpensive stuff, but some of that stuff doesn't make it. Usually for the bigger stuff, like I go after the manufacturer or whoever, like I'm pursuing them because I already know it's good, or I, have a really good idea that is going to be really good. So I go after them and like to bring it on the channel to show everybody. But I would say, so maybe not overall 25%, 25% of the stuff that gets sent to me to test doesn't make it. But 100% of everything I've, went out after in order to get, videos done on is all made it. Mr. Hey Scott Paul, I want to say thank you for all your time and knowledge. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. You guys have taught me a ton. Trust me. What is the best new chassis out? Have not tried. I don't know about best. I think Kenny's on here. Kenny's making a chassis. L3I's making a chassis. I don't know enough about either one to say, that I haven't tried. But the MPA has a ton of chassis that I haven't tried. There's lots of stuff out there for sure that I need to try. Just haven't had the money or, the relationship with the company enough yet to try. And I'm not talking about Kenny or L3I here. Mostly talking about other companies, big companies like MPA, things like that, Let's see. Ely Prime 22 also ignites well, by the way, speed ignition. Yeah, I like Ely. I mean, we got into that a little bit last one. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again with you guys. Would you come to Australia for an international invitational match in October? Good Lord. Is it summertime in Australia? It must be. I think it is, right? Summertime in October. Oh, God. What's that plane ride going to be? I hate freaking planes. Possibly. Yeah, let's talk about it. It would be a cool filming experience. I'm sure that I could, find a place to kick around out there in Australia too. Let's see. The Big Sandy Tech Sport products for us great because you can get different sear high engagement. Yep, that's true. And I do love that about the Big Sandy. Let's see, man. I just cannot catch up, which is pretty funny. I just emailed you. You can check, see if you get my email as well. Okay, yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, I knew I recognized your name. But yeah, definitely check it out. We'll get something going. Mr. Country Rimfire, 100% trust you. Maybe kick that down to 90%. Like 100% is kind of a scary amount of trust. I still want you to like objectively look and be like, is this guy an idiot? Because sometimes I can be an idiot. And 90%ers will call me out, which is good. Because I'm not always right. Mr. Eagle Eye, working on a bolt lug gouging issue with Remix right now. Going to have a live stream and talk about it. Yeah, it's something that me and Kenny had actually talked about before this. Appreciate that you were highly selective while Shiros haven't been disappointed in the gear you have featured. Yeah, I mean, that's my hope is to keep it like that, So far, I've been pretty lucky. I mean, like, not everything has worked out, like, great. Not everything does. But I've been good. Like, my worst fear is that, it's like I find something and I get excited about it and I think it's good because what I get sent is good, only to find out I kind of got rug pulled and then they just like made something better for me to look at and promote because I was really excited about it. And then you guys get it and it's a piece of crap. Luckily, that hasn't happened. Hopefully it never does. But I'm always worried, which is also why like a lot of stuff is name brand, like big company stuff. So I don't have to worry about that so much. Let's see. How much does my idea? 22 pounds. 22 pounds is what I like to shoot for PRS and NRL. It's basically my standard rifle now. When am I going to get in? I don't know. At some point, I'm just right now, maybe the end of the year, middle to the end of the year. I've got like several new gun builds coming, and I need to build a bench rest gun just for that perspective. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to have an opinion if you haven't really done it, and I haven't really done it. I have what I think is an opinion about bench rest, but I really haven't done it. So I'm going to at some point. I just don't know quite when that'll be. Mr. J. Well, my dad's retired, spent 50 years making training videos and animation in the automotive world. He is good on the computer shooting part and has nothing but time. Any advice for someone starting? Like starting YouTube, I guess. Find your niche, find your audience, find what you want to do differently. That's kind of like when I started, I looked what was out there. And then I was like, I wanted something different for my own personal, like that I wanted to see. And I complained about it. My wife finally got tired of me complaining about it and told me to man up and make my own content or shut up, basically. So that's what I did. And I'm not saying like I pioneered this, but I just don't think at the time, really, there was many precision gun tubers who were editing the way I was, who were, doing the multiple camera stuff the way I was. So, and people will find, you'll have your own style will emerge out of that, and people will latch onto that. The biggest thing I could say is there's really, now is always the best time to start. Just make your first video. It's going to suck. And, being genuine and honest and open, about like, being where you are is where you are on the camera. People seem to relate to that more than, like the guys who are like, quote unquote, I'm the professional, I'm the end all be all, I know everything or whatever. So, I mean, there's no wrong way to do it as long as you're being genuine about it. And you'll find your niche and your style out of it. Let's see. Question: ever tried those match rimfire, the turn bullets on Swiss small parts lathe? I did try those. I didn't really have great luck because there's so little powder in 22. It's very, very hard without like a lab grade quality, like thousands of dollar powder measure to get that little of powder that precisely to get it to be as consistent as what the manufacturers are able to get. So the bullets were obviously better. They got a better BC and all that. I couldn't get the velocity consistency that I could out of match ammo, so I kind of gave up on it. Let's see. There's Mr. L3I coming. We moved our Stinger Action bolt over to S7 tool still to prevent any wear issues. Nice. You know we're going to ask, when can we expect it? Have I given up on track? No. I still shoot them. I just, like, I have so many more guns now, and I have so many, you'll still see them like pop in and off on the guns and things like that. I think one of the videos I just shot, there's like 2 tracks in that. They're great, but they haven't, like, there's nothing new. So like, I'm not promoting any like brand. Like, I'm not promoting Ely over Lapua. I'm not going to promote Tract over Leupold or whatever. I just have what I have. And when they release new stuff, if they invite me to be part of that, to test it pre-release, to make a release video, to bring to you guys, to get it out to you guys first, and my honest thoughts on it, then I'm always willing to do that. But the fact is, I mean, Tract, hasn't really like come out with another scope to do a video on. So I'm just using what I have. If that makes sense. Still love the Tract scopes. Really great scopes for the money. You're probably not going to look forward to it. I'm probably going to suck. That's probably what's going to happen. Let's see. Did I use any internal weights with the Gen 2? No, I did not. It has no internal weights on it. Let's see. My grip and strain is the exact same. Good. Yeah, it's not strange. It's very uncommon. There's quite a few shooters that use it. It's just not as common as most of the other grip styles. And honestly, any grip style works. It's just a matter of training consistency. Mr. Timothy Trexler, being a sad and lonely birthday, I love you, Josh. We're gonna go. Got together this year and shot a little bit. Awful lonely when you old, man. Well, I hate to hear that, brother. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I think, are you local to North Carolina? You should definitely come out to the Long Gone. And Mr. Bravo 3D. Appreciate you, brother. Hurry up and learn to edit. My first render videos were bad. Yeah. Well, he said he's got his old man sitting around with nothing to do, and he's done all the, so he's probably pretty spun up on editing. Yeah, that's for sure. Measuring powder for 22 is crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Any disadvantage of leaving the sunshade on your scope when shooting from the bench in the shade? No, I don't think so. I mean, you're probably limiting some light because, you got a circle and you're getting light coming from all directions, right? And then it's kind of consolidating that and then, bringing that back out of the scope. So the sunshade's going to limit that. You're not going to get as much. So it probably is going to produce a little darker of an image, but nothing crazy. I leave them on my scopes almost all the time. Here we go. Our Stinger Actions will be ready late spring. All right. Like my guess is giving you some crap. That's funny. Mr. Steel 84 got a 1710 competition AC. What's the first things I should do moving forward as my first precision rimfire in general? Especially that rifle. Thanks for that. First thing you gotta do is lot test the crap out of that, see what it likes, and then get a bunch more of it, and then just practice with it. Honestly, find some good ammo for it. Buy enough of it. Buy some practice ammo too. Don't shoot up all your lot tested ammo. Just practice. And I did that my first year like an idiot. And so was not smart of me. So buy like quality ammo for when it matters, and then buy something in the same ballpark but a cheaper variant of it to practice with. The grip style prevents me from curling my trigger pull. So, oh yeah, me too. Is there a temperature at which you see a lot's accuracy? Not really. It depends on the lot, though. You got to consider you're in a harmonic node in your barrel, right? You're picking basically, you're going through different lots with different speeds. You're in a harmonic node. And then if the temperature swings significant enough in one way or the other, the velocity is going to go up or down. And that could take you out of your harmonic node, but it's going to be like really crazy, like barrel to barrel dependent, ammo to ammo. Because you could be in a big harmonic node. I've seen barrels that just simply didn't care, like did not matter. Other barrels, maybe you're right there at the tip of your harmonic node of where, like, if you shoot any faster, it's going to fall apart. So it's always, a possibility. Yeah, if you live in Rockwell, you should definitely come out to. There's a bunch of matches like DPRC has two-gun rimfire. They have a precision rimfire match that'll start like in February or March. And again, I think in April I'm going to be running my matches. That I literally have like zero time to even shoot on my own. Like I'd meet up somewhere and shoot, but I like have zero time. I wish it was different, but with the kids' work, the National Guard, the house, the dogs, the cats, the chickens, all that stuff, like it's just crazy. My schedule's been nuts. Always have to adjust to parallax also. Track actually told me to mess with my focus, go figure. Oh, I think I missed the other part of that. Someone having parallax issues with their track or something. Let's see. Is that a JP22 on the wall behind you? It's kind of very strict out. That is a JP. I will say one thing about this. It is not the most accurate like semi-auto gun I've ever had. Like I've had super grades and stuff that were more accurate. But that thing is a workhorse with reliability. I shot that in a DMR match. I don't think I've ever had a malfunction in that rifle. Like ever. It just runs like a sewing machine. So I give that to them. I mean, that thing freaking, it's not going to shoot .2s, but man, it shoots everything and it does it every time. It doesn't seem to care. So I really, really love that. Why do people not use fixed power scopes? For hunting, I mean, it's good, but for competitive shooting and things like that, think about getting a fixed power. So for like matches, you would need probably like a 10 or 12 power. But then if you go your same match gun, if you're going to true your dope out, like at 10 power, shooting 300 and 400 yards with a 22, you ain't going to see jack crap. You're not going to see anything. So you're not going to be able to true the gun. It's going to be harder to get a, really, really good zero on it. It's just magnified optics are just, it's the norm now. And you're shooting in daytime. So fixed power scopes are typically going to do a few things for you. One, it's going to be lighter. Two, it's going to give you better. You're going to see more light through it. So low light visibility is going to be better. And the overall image is going to be better for the money because there's a lot less going on. But you can get really, really, really great optics and that are like with a magnification range. We're not worried about weight and we're not shooting at like dusk for hunting. So I think that's why most competition guys, there's really no good use case for a fixed power scope for competitive shooting that I can think of. What Ely bolts are silver? That's easy. Ely Team, Ely Match, Ely 10X are all silver. Call it their EPS style bullet. They call it their silver bullet line. That's, or at least I call it that a little bit. Any benefit to upgrade from a KG Bravo stock to MDT? Yeah, they're going to weigh more. They're going to have a longer forend. They're going to be a little bit more versatile. So you're going to be able to get the overall weight of the gun up. So that's the benefit. The mini chassis in the KRG is fine. Like it does a really good job as far as it being inletted well and working. But yeah. Let's see. Wouldn't temperature affect primer, which impacts velocity, so colder temps hinder more, hence some brands like Polar? Yeah, I mean, I've shot Ely all the way down into the like 20s and all the way up to 110. And like, yeah, the velocity is going to change a little bit, but it's not a lot. And if you're running a Kestrel, the Kestrel accounts for that temperature swing. So it's really not a big deal. But yeah, I mean, they do offer like Polar Biathlon, which I actually just did a test with. I wasn't super impressed with. the polar biathlon that is. I shot out of 3 guns, and I don't know. The Ely I shoot has been better than that. I'll say that. Let's see. Thanks, Josh. Birthday wish. Anybody else told me really appreciate show. Wish I had a 22 to shoot. Only got a 22 Magnum that shoots lights out, which is more. Ain't nothing wrong with 22 Magnum. I mean, if you want to shoot, I'll have, like I said, I'm gonna post my stuff. I'd probably have a loaner gun out there if you want to shoot the long gun match that we're gonna shoot in April. I have plenty of guns, and it's like 50 rounds. Is the total match plus siders. So I have no problem if you want to come out and shoot one of my guns or whatever when we do it in April. You just have to remind me. And you can shoot one of those at the long gun. Would be no big deal. Let's see. What have I missed? No, I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate the help. It stays pretty well, like set up. I don't really have to do a whole lot. And luckily the kids are like my cheap labor. Well, it's really not cheap because they're pretty expensive. See, Country Rimmer, Josh, a lot of people's tracks parallax is wonky. Oh, John over there told me to mess with my focus, but it's tight and not very free. On your Toric, mine is really not that funny. I have to take a better look through mine. I wonder if it's a newer like batch problem that they had or something, because mine is basically as forgiving as I remember it being when I first had it, because I don't ever even adjust my parallax on the stage, but that's definitely interesting. I'd be interested to know when you got yours, and yeah. Because I said I haven't got a new scope from them in quite a while, but I have like 2 Torics, ELRs, and both of them are pretty good, but I definitely like to stay in the know on that stuff, so hopefully you'll have more info. What's the average node with UC? I don't really measure it a lot, honestly, because my ammo deviates maybe 20 feet per second or so across the temperatures that I shoot in it. So it's not that huge of a deal for me. Thought on Arc and Discovery. I think they're both good for the price. I think the new 7 to 35s that are out are pretty much the end-all be-all budget scope. I'm actually going to film tomorrow and the next day on a 7 to 35 budget optic. And, yeah, it's going to be – I think those are becoming very, very hard to beat for the money. What weight do you like? Most people are going to freak out. I shoot a single-stage trigger anywhere between 4 and 7 ounces. Those are about every one of my triggers. So I have, like, very light triggers. And most people are like, oh, my God, like, how do you shoot a trigger that light? But that's all I shoot. So I had, like, all my training experiences around 4 to 7 ounce triggers on a single stage. And surprisingly enough, like I prep the trigger, I don't slap it. Like I get on my grip, I feel the trigger, I settle, and then I break the shot. It's just what I'm used to, which is I would not recommend that if you're not used to that. I've got years of practicing with that, and luckily it's never bit me. I've never ND'd the rifle. So let's see. Fury does it. What's up, brother? God's Fury in the Discord. You ever plan on running a West Coast range day? Man, come visit some of us commies. Well, I might go there. I might get locked up, man. I'm an East Coast freaking, free American. I don't know what they're going to do to me in California. I'm likely to try and smuggle in some 15-round magazines. I may end up in freaking prison in California for the rest of my life. Then there'll be no more YouTube. Mr. David Pigott, going to be in Crumper, North Carolina, September 10 to 14. Can places in that area, those matches that you know of, September 10 through 14? I mean, there's a bunch of places that do matches. It just depends if you're going to get lucky. Clinton House, South Carolina, the Range Complex in Autryville, North Carolina, Zoo City Armory in Franklinville. There's places around. I would check practice score, and you might find something. I have more issues with the Ely getting clumpy in the cold than I do the velocity change. The lube makes cycling tough in the extreme cold. Yeah, I've actually shot. So I did a night match. It was freaking cold, and I shot the Ely, no problem. I'm just kind of used to dealing with it too. So I guess, when you shoot it all the time, it's not like that big of a deal. As you kind of just get used to dealing with that kind of stuff. Getting deeper into rimfire. What do you purchase first, Kestrel or Chrono? probably a chrono to test ammo with, and then you could get a Kestrel later on if you're not shooting matches. If you're interested in testing ammo for your guns to get that, then get a chrono. And you don't have to get a crazy expensive one, but yeah, both are a great purchase, obviously. Let's see. Ever tried this limit pistol with light trigger, a few 10 grams? I have not. I've not tried that stuff at all. Temperature Trexler affects all ammo. There's more dense and there's less dense, and therefore warmer temperature, faster round travel. Yeah, I mean, that's the other part too. Yeah, it's like the bullet itself is going to be affected by it. Colder air is more dense. So you're going to need more elevation dial to get on the same target. Let's see. Yeah, see, always different opinions. Me and Kenny are always like polar opposites. I say chrono, he says Kestrel. Neither one's a bad choice. Any benefit to betting the action on a 22 long target shooting? Yeah, I mean, if the inletting's not good, definitely bet it. It definitely can't hurt. Let's see. Custom 1022 versus CZ457 stock. First argument, get the 457. And you're just going to have a way easier time finding ammo, I think. I have been waiting for a CZ457 MTR. Varmint forever. Can't find what chassis and barrel would you use to keep a build in the same price range. There is essentially like no chassis and barrel that's going to keep you in the price range of an MT, like just a flat on MTR. I mean, honestly, just buy the cheapest one you can. For the barrel, you could get the L3i. That's not going to be a ton of money. And then save up a little bit longer and get a chassis. But yeah, I mean, finding something comparable to like the MTR cost is going to be very, very hard to do. I like the billet 13 round L3i ones. That's pretty much all I use. I have the polymers and they work great too, but they have extensions is another thing. I'd rather just get the 13 round billet mag and never have to worry about it. Let's see. Mr. James Garner, my Torque LR is a year old, and I can't shoot an NRL match without adjusting parallax, let alone PRS. Yeah, I'm not saying like an entire match. What I do is I dial the midway between it and then shoot the entire stage. So if it's like 50 to 100, I put it on 70 or 75, and I never touch it. Same with going out and shooting like PRS. If I'm shooting like 100 to 300, I'm probably going to set it like 180 and call it a day. And it's still usable. Like it's not going to be like crystal clear, obviously, but it's not enough for me to bother with it. And mine are like probably 2 years old at this point. Let's see. Ely Lover, get stuck in my stuff at negative 28. Yeah, freaking negative. Well, that's why you ain't got to worry about me shooting at negative 28. I ain't be shooting. Let's see. Somebody was asking Kenny if there's a reason why there isn't a chassis for Ruger Precision. Yeah. Yeah. How are your 3D printed Armstrong mags for the CZ457 holding up? Pretty good. I haven't used them a ton. I've used them a little bit. Honestly, it's not like mags I use all the time because I have the 13 rounders. But the ones that I've used, I haven't had any problems with. That's right. I finally caught up. So I'm going to end this at 10. We got 7 minutes. We've had over 200 views, a ton of questions, which has been really awesome. Do have a little review coming up. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be backwards. You have to read backwards to understand what that is. We got a review coming up on that guy. I'm working on tomorrow and the next day. Got all sorts of stuff coming out. Stuff that you guys haven't even seen, man. Got a review, part 1 review on Kenny's barrel, proprietary barrel coming out. I got my lot testing I did with the 40X. So I did a lot test with the Win Gunworks lot test pack for Ely Match and the 40X, where I go over kind of how I do my my lot testing, and I shoot it on steel at 150 yards per group, along with the 50-yard groups. Man, I got a bunch of videos coming out. So yeah, hopefully all good info for you guys. A lot of cool stuff coming up, you know, as we get into the year. Waiting on some barreled actions. L3I. L3I is one, another barreled action, waiting on a couple more builds, really. So we're going to have some really cool stuff coming. It's exciting time to be in precision rimfire. I mean, honestly, if you're getting into precision rimfire like today, like right now, like you were freaking spoiled. Like there is just endless amounts of new stuff coming out. That's really cool. Let's see. Mr. Tim Ring just got here. Man, you like an hour and a half late to the party, but I still appreciate you coming. Mr. Brad Brock, appreciate you, brother. Best trigger for good ignition on a B14R. I've had a lot of really good luck with my Timney Hit and a Bixen Andy and the B14R. Those are the two that I've tried the most. I spent a lot of time with the Timney Hit, which is what's in my B14R now. It worked really good, and a Bixen Andy. The good thing about the B14R is it is another pretty solid. Besides the fact that it's a lower cost, so it's not going to be as quality parts as obviously the more custom stuff or the more expensive stuff, but it is very good for what it is. What's your email so I can get an address to send? I'm going to put it down in the comments. Josh@pursuitofaccuracy.com. So I just posted it down in the comment. I mean, I have a Bergara B14R with MCR when I truck out, but I still love to build stuff. That's right. Everybody loves to build stuff. With a Rimex, what do you and Eagle Eye consider a normal bolt wear? I just got mine built, have about 200 round strip. I'm seeing decent coating wear in the bolt body. Coating wear is something different. So like it's something you're going to see in a lot of rimfires. What Eagle Eye was seeing was like gouging, like actual like gouging, like material loss. But the coating wear is kind of a natural byproduct of running and using it. I think it's Eagle Eye would know for sure, but I think it's just Cerakote, so it's going to wear. That I do not know. Only real issues with my mags is guys running metal mag releases. Yeah, I could see that. Already have a Remix build. Is worth getting a Voodoo 360 for the bolt throw. The 90 is not that big of a deal. I would not buy a new gun just to get a shorter bolt throw. I don't even notice it when I'm on the guns. I can go from the Rim-X to the 360 to the 40X. Doesn't matter. The Voodoos have a very good feeling action, so that's worth, checking out for sure. Midwest Long Range has just had a ton of personal stuff going on, so I'm not sure when he's going to get around to, to doing stuff. Mr. DJ2 is Torchman. Great. Good to hear. Appreciate you, Mr. Kenny. Let's see. Some more stuff. Let's see. Appreciate everybody coming. Appreciate Kenny. All the gun tubers showing up too. I appreciate all you guys. We're coming in the last couple of minutes here. I'm trying to breeze through and make sure I answer everybody's questions. May just get. I don't think it'll be that everybody I know has seriously used a lot of them have had to send it back for the turret issue, which they corrected. So I mean, if that is not a big deal, I mean the Zero system is really cool. It's really great. The glass is really good. So I mean, there's no real reason not to unless you're very, very, very seriously competing. And if that happening could totally ruin a match for you, that you traveled halfway across the country and it would piss you off to no end, then maybe don't. But otherwise, yeah. Let's see. Mr. CJ's went out for, wrong one. Went out for pizza after Bentress Live. You're good, brother. Let's see. Let's see. Mr. Eagle asked him, that was nitride, but it's poor nitride. See a lot of wear, shouldn't affect performance. Master 3S0, seeing gouging. Yep. Mr. Burn It Down Barney coming into the show. Late as crap, but I still love you, brother. We got one more minute. We're going to shut down, trying to get through everybody. Do appreciate you showing up. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Oh, there he is. Wish I could do 2 thumbs up. Well, you could. It will just take away the first one, and that's fine. Nice for you to show up, Mr. Jeff. Appreciate you, John. Let's see. Mr. Stephen Lee didn't get shut down. Yep, there we go. Appreciate everybody showing up. Hope everybody has a great New Year's. If I don't see you between now and then, you'll see me on pre-recorded video probably between now and then, but not live. But I appreciate all you guys. We averaged over 200 viewers. Again, I say this every time we have a live stream. Can't thank you guys enough, because honestly, it doesn't matter what I do behind a camera or out there on the range or whatever I got hanging on the wall. Without you guys sticking around and watching the stuff and giving me good, honest feedback and being encouraging and being a great audience, none of this really happens, right? So nothing is accomplished without you guys. So as always, I want to thank you guys for your participation in the channel, making it what it is now. And you guys, whether you know it or not, you give me the leverage to hold manufacturers down. You'll see it in an update video, but we've been able to leverage changes out of OEM stuff based on you guys, coming out, always watching the videos, been able to implement changes, get manufacturers to change things. So that's been awesome, a really great experience, and the channel is going to continue to grow with you guys, and we'll have more reach. We can do more things, which is always awesome. So, and again, can't do it without you guys. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking it out. An hour, 30 minutes with over 200 of you. It's been awesome as always. I hope that you guys enjoy the videos you're going to see over the next couple of weeks. And if there's something you're not seeing, let me know. Just drop it down in a comment. I don't always respond to every single comment. I found it's gotten harder and harder to do, but I do read every single comment. I try and respond to as many as I can, but I do read every single one. So even if I don't respond to it, I did read it. And if you have a suggestion for something, then I'm always all ears. But thanks again. If I missed you, I apologize. If I missed a question, probably try and do another one of these after the new year. Won't be this next weekend, but the one after that. So 2 weeks from now, hopefully we'll see you guys back here. And yeah, thanks guys. And hope you have a good night and a great New Year's. Let's end this sucker off. Don't do nothing stupid over the New Year's. Need to see everybody back in 2 weeks. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. We'll end this guy. Thanks again.